interview with my mother, made lurid and false claims about the royal family, which played on her fears and fueled paranoia, displayed woeful incompetence when investigating complaints and concerns about the programme, and were evasive in their reporting to the media and covered up what they knew from their internal investigation. It is my view that the deceitful way the interview was obtained substantially influenced what my mother said. The interview was a major contribution to making my parents' relationship worse and has since hurt countless others. It brings indescribable sadness to know that the BBC's failures contributed significantly to her fear, paranoia and isolation that I remember from those final years with her.
Other victims of hacking that I've spoken to have described the paranoia that it creates. Do you identify with that?
I think paranoia is a very interesting word because, yes, then it could be paranoia. But then when you're vindicated, it proves that you weren't being paranoid. You know, same with my mother. You know, there is evidence to suggest that she was being hacked in the mid-90s, probably one of the first people to be hacked. And yet, still today, the press, the tabloid press, very much enjoy painting her as being paranoid. But she wasn't paranoid. She was absolutely right of what was happening to her. And she's not around today to find out the truth.
Well, it gave everybody a wonderful new label. It's Diana's unstable and Diana's mentally imbalanced. And unfortunately, that seems to have stuck on and off over the years.
I would like to thank Lord Dyson and his team for the report. It is welcome that the BBC accepts Lord Dyson's findings in full, which are extremely concerning. That BBC employees lied and used fake documents to obtain the interview with my mother, made lurid and false claims about the royal family, which played on her fears and fueled paranoia. It brings indescribable sadness to know that the BBC's failures contributed significantly to her fear, paranoia and isolation that I remember from those final years with her.
I think paranoia is a very interesting word because, yes, then it could be paranoia. But then when you're vindicated, it proves that you weren't being paranoid. You know, same with my mother. You know, there is evidence to suggest that she was being hacked in the mid-90s, probably one of the first people to be hacked. And yet, still today, the press, the tabloid press, very much enjoy painting her as being paranoid. But she wasn't paranoid. She was absolutely right of what was happening to her. And she's not around today to find out the truth.
He called her paranoid. Not once, but twice. And when I say him, I mean Prince William. And as you can see the contrast between both clips, Harry didn't gaslight his mother. He made sure to honor her. And that's what Prince Harry's been doing this entire time. Because if you haven't noticed, how come the royal family, the palace, don't do enough to honor Diana? Have you ever noticed that? They don't have any type of memorial. They don't do anything. Unless Prince William and Harry's doing something, the palace don't do anything to honor Diana. For someone who meant so much to people and still means a lot to people today, you would think they would do a lot more to honor her memory, but they don't. Which is why it bothers me when I hear a lot of people say things like, why did Prince Harry always bring up his mother? Why shouldn't he? You guys have been talking about her for decades, making money off her memory and her legacy for decades.
If you haven't heard this before, you will struggle to believe that this happened on the same website, in the same organ, both one for the Daily Mail, one for the Mail on Sunday. Right, so we'll start with Kate. Not long to go. Pregnant Kate tenderly cradles her baby bump while wrapping up her royal duties ahead of maternity leave. And William confirms she's due any minute now. Find out in a moment what exactly the same outlet said about exactly the same behaviour while undertaken by a different wife of a different British prince. Why can't Meghan Markle keep her hands off her bump? Experts tackle the question that has got the nation talking. Is it pride, vanity, acting, or a new age bonding technique? That's just one example. Kate's morning sickness cure. Prince William gifted with an avocado for pregnant Duchess. Oh, isn't that nice? So a member of the public gave Prince William an avocado because wrapped up in a bow by a little boy whose mother is suffering during her pregnancy too. Meghan Markle's beloved avocado linked to human rights abuse and drought. Millennial shame. I mean, even if you thought I was mad, yeah? Even if you thought I was wearing a tinfoil hat when I tried to describe to you how insane the coverage of this couple has been, you're going to hear that, possibly even more than the baby bump story or the honeymoon posy story. Kate's morning sickness cure, Prince William gifted with an avocado for pregnant Duchess. Meghan Markle's beloved avocado linked to human rights abuse and drought.
Morning. Comments are open as ever on this one. Would love your opinion. More people across various digital and social media platforms are having a pop at Kate. The previous video that I just uploaded was about her magical new youthful looks. That sounds like a dig to me. This one is digging into her past with photographic evidence before she settled down with William and her future was mapped out with her. This is one of the kindest ones I could actually find. Some of them are insinuating that at this point in Kate's journey to become a professional royal, any royal that was male would do, and that's why she was frequently socialising with the direct and indirect family of Prince William. I think this is a bit unfair when she's ill, recovering, even though she looks 15 years younger than she did before she left and wasn't ill. I think it's a bit unfair to have a pop at her in this way. She's clearly part of a senior socialite circle, including the royal family, and was before she got with William. But comments are open. Is this behaviour befitting of a future queen? Was this a part of a plan to get herself a husband? Seems to have worked, but what do you think?
On addiction. Action on Addiction's MPAC programme to explore this issue. Place to Be delivers exceptional specialist counselling service in schools.
In this one small room, how multicultural it was. On a personal level, I feel so proud to live in a city that can have so much diversity. It's 12 countries represented in this one group of women is pretty outstanding.
Women don't need to find a voice. They have a voice. They need to feel empowered to use it, and people need to be encouraged to listen. And I think right now in the climate that we're seeing with so many campaigns, I mean, with Me Too and Time's Up, there is no better time than to really continue to shine a light on women feeling empowered and people really helping to support them, men included in that. I mean, it makes such a tremendous difference. So
with sort of Harry doing a lot with knife crime, but with a lot with homelessness, and for me with sort of addiction and things. And I just think being able to sort of come together to find some sort of common ground and be able to sort of draw ideas together and find a way forward, I think was really, really exciting.
I think when it comes to charity, Prince Harry knows all about it. It started when he was a babe in arms, when he watched his mother do those remarkable things that she did as a young woman before her death. And he found in Meghan someone, I think, remarkably like Diana.
Well, I do know that one of the things that bonded Meghan and Harry during those early dates was her genuine passion for philanthropy and humanitarian causes.
Meghan has spent a lot of her teenage and adult years fighting for women's rights and for women all over the world.
She's very committed to empowering women and young girls around the globe.
Luama Stefanos is from Eritrea, and just 4 years ago, she literally ran to get her freedom with bullets flying towards her. She was a slave. She is now working on a grassroots organization to try to free people who are still slaves in Eritrea. I mean, I think this is one of those moments in life where you have that are so inspiring. She's incredibly brave and strong. She has spoken at the United Nations against the leaders in her country who are still enslaving people. So it's funny, I feel very emotional about it because it's just so humbling, and she's just so incredible. So this is Luame Stefanos.
She wrote a really articulate piece in Time magazine, and in doing so, I think she's made most of us aware of something that we wouldn't otherwise be aware of, and that's what Harry loves about her.
I traveled